Starting. Okay. Now we're live. Hello, everybody.
How's it
Welcome to It's
going?
a Short online premiere of Evelyn Black. My name is Christine, and I'm with itsashort.com. And It's a Short is the go-to place for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Tonight, we're going to spend about 30 minutes with our cast and crew from Evelyn Black and our guest host, Jay Vanderhorst, aka Jay No Truth, who will sort of pose lots of really fun questions to both Michael Turner and Michael Mitchell. We are also joined by our esteemed social media director, Dewana De La Serna, who you cannot see but is there, and she is tweeting to all of you audience. So feel free to tweet questions to the cast and crew on Twitter using the hashtag Evelyn Black. All right, thanks. Well, let's start with introducing ourselves first. Michael Mitchell, tell us about you and the character that you play in this award-winning film Evelyn Black.
All right, my name's Michael Mitchell, and just call me Mitch, because it's like 30 mics up there.
Hey, Mitch.
I played the character Gregory Page. Playing this character, if it wasn't for Michael Foster, it wouldn't be as good as it is, because my acting skills are good, but him directing me and showing me to play the cool guy, the guy that looks like he's kind of devious, you know, always on the low, whatever. If it wasn't for Michael Foster, I probably would never got that down the way that he wanted, and it worked out great.
Well, tell us something about you as an actor. Like, how long have you been an actor?
Ooh, about 2-3 years now. I've done a lot of acting for like commercial type style and a few short films. I'm always acting in stuff, and I'm also in film school, so I'll do some student projects also.
Oh, congratulations. Okay, and now we're going to hear from Michael Foster, who is our writer, producer, and director of this film, Evelyn Black. Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Now, hold on one second, Christine, because when you first introduced me, you said Michael Turner.
I meant to say Michael Foster.
You said Michael Turner. You know, I'm very, very particular about my brand. It is Michael Foster, actually, hashtag the experience. So it's the Michael Foster experience. I don't know who Michael Turner is. I'm sure that he's a great guy.
Neither do I. So.
I just don't want people confusing that, you know, Michael Turner made this film.
That's right. I'm very sorry, Michael Foster, and to everybody who's viewing, I'm very sorry. It's Michael Foster, the Michael Foster experience.
But, yeah, everybody, I just want to thank It's a Short and Christine and everybody and staff for this opportunity. It's great that you guys are helping filmmakers like myself and helping us get our projects and stuff like that out there. It's a great thing that you guys are doing, and you know, support everything.
Well, that's great. Well, listen, Michael Foster, can you start and tell us a little bit about your history as a filmmaker, because you really started in music?
Yeah, I started out doing music. I've been writing songs since I was about 11, so that's about, I don't know if I want to say how long ago that was, but I was.
We don't do numbers here. We don't do
numbers. And I started out, you know, doing music. I was a hip hop artist, and I just made the transition from that to TV production into film. And it was an easy transition for me because I think all of them kind of worked together with me writing songs. I would create these storylines, and so writing, which obviously is a big part of being a screenwriter, that played in the part. And then with my experience doing TV production, that actually added the production part of it. So I married the writing aspect and the production aspect, and I went back to school and went to film school, and then I learned the actual film part of it, to how to construct and, you know, conceptualize a story all the way to casting and shooting and editing, and then you know, the rest was history. So it's been, it's been a journey. It's been a great journey so far.
How long has that journey been for you? Because that sounds like a lifetime. But I know, looking at you, we know that that's not that long. So how long have you been sort of pursuing this, sort of shift from music to film?
Well, really, it's been recent. It's crazy because I did Evelyn Black in 2012, so that was my first film, and that was like my first film in film school. So really, kind of just I was able to kind of just hit a triple my first time at bat, and I think because of the fact that I had certain experience in other levels, on other aspects, it kind of just rolled over. So I kind of started to kind of climb the ladder a little faster, with this film as far as me getting into certain festivals and things of that nature all across the world. It just really kind of helped that I already had that prior experience. So it really has. I really probably been in film for what, 2 years now.
Oh wow, that's amazing! That's
Yeah,
success.
we shot Evelyn Black like 2 years ago. We started working on it 2 years ago, July actually. So.
Wow,
Crazy
wow,
years.
that is fantastic. I want to go back to Michael Mitchell and ask him how he, in fact, got into. How did you know that you were an actor?
Actually, I've been acting ever since I was a kid. So ever since I was in my hometown in Little North Carolina, I stole my mom's camcorder. I'm old, so I'm like 30. I might be 31.
Old.
So I had a camcorder with the little DVD tapes, and we just started doing like little skits here and there.
And you were just filming them?
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Oh,
So,
wow. Sounds like a Steven Spielberg story. Steven Spielberg started to flip a camera when he was 8.
oh, really? Oh, yeah. It was a Super 8 camera, I believe, or something like that.
All right, all right. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we had one more person we were hoping he was going to chat with us, and that's Jay Vanderhorst, but he has dropped off. So if should he come back, and we hope he does, then he will join us and tell us about his role with and relationship with Michael Foster and Michael Mitchell. So let's just go right into sort of the making of Evelyn Black. So first of all, it's such an extraordinary story. Michael, can you talk to us about just conceptually, how did you go about writing the script for Evelyn Black?
Well, I actually the same process that I used when I would create my songs and write my songs. It actually was the same process. I threw in an instrumental, and I had kind of like a concept that I was kind of thinking about, but I was just listening to this instrumental like over and over and over, and the tone of the music and everything, it told me what to write, and that's the same process that I use when I would write my songs. So it told me exactly what the storyline needed to be about in regards to the tone more so of the film. I knew I wanted it to be something dark, and I knew I wanted it to have like a female lead character, and that was very important for me because I just felt like Hollywood doesn't have a lot of African American lead actresses that get enough opportunities in films. So I knew I wanted it to kind of have those aspects, and then I just started like fleshing out the rest of the concept, workshopping the script, workshopping the ideas, and then we kind of came up. Evelyn Black is actually it's a lot more to her story. She has some associates that she's actually involved with, but that'll be like but we just focused on Evelyn Black. She's actually part of a larger group.
Oh, okay. This is the beginning of the web series.
Right. Either the web series or the feature. We're trying to still figure that out. But instead of focusing on her whole, all of her associates, I just wanted it had to be like 5 minutes. Like I said, it was for a class. And it had to be 5 minutes long or 5-page script. So I just focused on one person, and she was the one that I chose to focus on, and I think I made the right choice focusing on her verse.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, we've been joined by Jay.
Right.
Jay, can you tell everybody, introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are? Yo, Jay.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up,
What's
Wars?
up? So tell
Yeah.
us who you are and how you're related to this, to Michael Foster and Michael Mitchell.
Cool. Well, my name is Jay. Jay No Truth. Um, I do a lot of different events, event production. We just recently wrapped up the BET Awards, the ESPYs, Nickelodeon Kids Choice Sports Awards. But that's what I do. It's my day job. But I'm also a host. I'm hosting this tonight for my man Michael Foster, aka the Mr. Experience Man.
Oh,
Oh no, we don't know what happened to Jay. He may be pausing for us.
Take a pause for the cause.
He's going to take a pause for the cause. So when Jay comes back, I'm sure Michael Foster, he is going to sort of ask you some specific questions about Evelyn Black, as we were starting to say, and sort of it's very interesting to us to know that you know that there's a range of characters, and you started with Evelyn. Oh, it looks like Jay might be back. That's so exciting. Jay, have you rejoined us? Almost. Okay, he'll be here in 2 minutes. At any rate, Michael Foster, can you also, when you mentioned two things that were pretty interesting, and I want to hear Michael Mitchell's response to this. The first was that you wanted to write a script that was kind of like a dark story. Why did you choose a dark story?
Well, I wanted to do something different, and you know, anytime I'm coming up with a storyline, I try to think of like what hasn't been done. You know, I don't like to just kind of stay with the same cliches. So, like I say, the music that I was listening to, kind of, it was telling me that it was a dark type, you know, soundtrack, and so it was that's what it was telling me to write, but I didn't want to, you know, in watching the film, when you see it, you know, she has a dark side, but then you understand kind of like why.
Why?
You know,
Okay.
not just like she's just, you know, just bad person. So I wanted to kind of have that. I wanted to have all those elements to where then you understood why she was doing what she was doing. You know. So yeah, that
you
seemed
want
like.
to chime in and sort of talk to Michael Foster about why he was attracted to such a dark kind of story?
oh, this is for me?
That was for Jay.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I think the film itself, it basically described the whole, the whole montage of everybody knowing what karma is. We're all familiar with what karma is. That's what I got from it. I looked at it from a standpoint of, okay, this guy's just randomly running around here, doing.
Oh.
I know, right? That's so amazing. But Michael Mitchell, talk to us about your take on karma, because that was not necessarily how I was thinking about, it be, sort of the story as a dark story, but it's intriguing.
Well, that's all on Michael Foster.
Like, every time, take on karma, though.
Like, and sometimes when I hear his stories and I'll be on set with him, I worked on him on some recent projects, and I'll be like, I can't wait to see this. I just know it's gonna be good because I'm just like, okay, where are you coming up with these ideas? I'm like,
do you like to be in sort of dark stories, or do you have a preference?
Yeah, I think in the world today, we don't always want to see a happy ending. Nobody does. I mean, yeah, go watch a kids movie if you want that. But with this story, it's kind of a happy ending because you don't want to see Gregory Page like me get away with what I'm doing.
Right. Right.
So,
Jay, what do you think about that, Jay?
I absolutely agree. It's a lesson learned from this movie. Definitely a lesson learned.
You were starting to make another point though about karma. Do you want to finish that?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, hey, I'm a guy. Sometimes we don't have our minds in the right places. We do things that may hurt people, and it definitely comes back to bite you.
All right. All right. What comes around goes around. That's definitely. I can see that. I can see that.
Absolutely.
And Michael, can you talk about sort of the casting for the main character, the character that V plays, Evelyn,
Right.
to be exact?
Right. Yeah, I knew that when I pictured Evelyn, it had to be somebody that was really talented to be able to kind of pull off a few different sides, like because you have she's Jasmine, she has this kind of seductive, mysterious type, side, but then like when she's Evelyn, with the therapist, in the office and everything like that, she has a whole other side. So it's just kind of like it's very you really don't expect. Like if you were to see Evelyn just in her office or on the street, you wouldn't expect her to do the things that she was doing. So it had to be somebody that could pull off an innocent look with the glasses and everything, and then a whole nother look, with this just kind of like dark, sexy, seductive type, mysterious type. And so V is actually her husband and I are good friends. And so
Okay.
I thought about her, and I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, man, I got this script that I think that V would be real good for." And he was like, "Hey, let's talk. Let's ask her." And we talked about it. We sat in the living room and talked about, went over the script, and she loved it, and that was great. And I had actually just saw, I had just saw Mitch. I think we were actually in class together, and I had actually just saw Mitch in a few things, like you said, because he had been acting, and I was like, man, I was like, Mitch, I think I want you to be in this project, and I kind of told him about it and everything, and it was like the rest was history, and it was just, it was good for me because it was a blessing for me because it was like this is my first project, and I was able to bring in people that can really act,
Right. Right.
to actually portray these characters, where a lot of times you might have a great story, but then you don't have people that can act and really bring the characters to life. And I felt like that's what they did. Like V brought Evelyn and Jasmine to life, and Mitch brought Gregory to life, even though like Gregory is a character that nobody likes.
So there's so many times
on the film, but he was able to bring that to life. He was able to be the charming guy that we see, but then you see that he actually has other intentions. So you still he had that double side that he had to be able to pull off as well.
Right. 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 We really like, sort of the way Michael, you chose to portray Gregory. We thought that was fabulous. Can you talk about sort of how you were able to just sort of portray this, sort of suave, debonair, smooth kind of guy who gets caught up, in basically a karma move? Oh, and Jay is back too. This is so great. Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, Mitch or Mike?
Yeah, Mitch. Okay, Christine. Yeah, he's Mitch.
I gotta do.
Oh, Mitch.
All right.
Yeah. Because we're always like together.
You got two Michaels, I know. Yeah. Okay, well, let me see if Jay, do you want to ask Mitch the question?
Yeah, from a standpoint of the way this film is labeled, what is the whole concept as far as what you want the people to get from this film? As far as what type of film it will be labeled at?
Oh, good. Are you asking that of Mitch or Michael Foster?
Oh, Michael. Yeah, Michael Foster.
Foster.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said what type of film it could be labeled at? I would label this film as a suspense thriller, which I think like is, as of right now, I think that's kind of like those films to me that kind of fit like maybe where my mind frame is at. I don't know what that's, these suspense thrillers with these dark storylines and characters, but I would definitely put it, list it as a suspense thriller. It kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat. I like for people to be involved in the storyline to see, well, what's going to happen next. So that's a current theme that I've actually found that I've written in most of my films to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jane, do you have a question for Mitch?
Yeah, absolutely. From your role in the film, what do you want the critics to remember most about your character?
I want them to know that not every dude has a good intention.
Right.
Like, I know I am like complete opposite. I have been on dates and I've never thought about roofing no girl. I'll just get up and walk away if I ain't like it. But I don't know. I like to let people know that, not the nicest face. I don't know. Everybody says I have the devious face kind of look. So it's not everybody has that kind of look of, you can trust this guy, whatever. So you just gotta watch your back. So it's kind of teaching you a lesson a little bit in this film. And I try to, once we get to the part where I'm pouring the stuff in her drink, it was actually, what was that stuff that we used for that scene?
I was gonna say, what was that? Was it?
It was
salt? Was it sugar? What was it?
I think it was sugar.
It was sugar. Okay.
I forgot. It was 2 years.
Yeah.
See, we haven't even talked about the props. They're so good. So you were pouring the sugar in her. Okay, go ahead, Mitch. Go ahead.
But yeah, I just want people to know, like, I really wanted people to hate me. I think that's what, as an actor, you would, if you play that role, you want people to just hate you. It's just like, oh, I want to get this. And I've been going to school, and people that seen the film be like, I don't like you. But nah, go over there, go that way, go around. Like,
Oh, really?
I'm acting.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say your portrayal was amazing. I mean, now that we have a chance to meet you, I have a much deeper appreciation for your acting ability, because that was spot on, right? That was.
I think what V.
I didn't like you.
I think what V did for that role, for Evelyn Black, I think she was on point. I mean, of course, she had more experience than I did, but she was on point with her role. I was impressed with her.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Jay, do you have another question for Mitch?
That's for me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I do, Mitch. Like I said earlier, we all know about karma. We all know about the results, good behavior, bad behavior. How do you stay in that role, knowing that may not be your real personality as a person? Like, how do you really play that role?
Well, it took me a while. Like I said, if I went from Michael Foster, it would probably took me a little bit longer to get to that role. But him pushing me on and saying, "Hey, be the cool guy, be the cool guy. Hey, I know you're trying to do this, but just push it." And I had some acting experience, but that was my first time on a short film that I did that. I did commercials for this. So how can I say this? So it was kind of weird. But now that I have the experience, I know how to, I took an acting classes at my school and outside of school, understand how to, alleviate myself from being that good person that I always am to being that evil person that I try to get people to hate me. So it was difficult, but with Michael Foster's help, I could do it.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Jay, do you have a question for Michael Foster?
Absolutely. All right. Now, from your experience at the film festivals, the different circuits, with this film, like what festivals did you attend just for this film to help promote it and put the awareness out there?
Let's see. Last year on the festival circuit for this film, I did, the first one was the Charlotte Black Film Festival here in Charlotte. I'm based out of Charlotte. And for that festival, we got nominated in the category of Best Short, and it was some awesome films that were in that category. So just to be nominated definitely was a blessing. We actually had the UNCC Short Film Festival where we won silver, the grand jury prize, which is cash prize. So once I started winning cash prizes, I felt like I might be actually doing something.
Right.
We did the Montreal International Black Film Festival, which was a great experience for me, going international and having my film chosen out of thousands of submissions from over 40 countries all over the world. Then that kind of let me know, I'm like, okay, well maybe I am really, really doing something here. And then in Atlanta, we had Bronzelands Film Festival, which was another great experience because in there it was nothing but great films, and Atlanta being pretty much Black Hollywood and even becoming the new Hollywood, not just Black Hollywood. A lot of people in LA are actually going to Atlanta now, but one of the moments that stand out to me at that festival was there was an invitation, a luncheon, and it was invitation only, and it was the top Black directors and producers in Hollywood, and I'm looking around at the tables and I'm sitting there with them, and it was kind of surreal at first, like an out of body experience, but then it was just like, well, I'm supposed to be here, like, because nobody's looking at me like, hey, who's that guy over there? They were, everybody was just kind of chatting and chopping it up with each other, and at that point I was like, wow, I think I'm really kind of going in a direction that I definitely need to be going in. So that whole festival run was great. I learned so much, and I'm just looking forward to hitting the festival circuit again this year. But we'll talk about that a little later on.
Jay, I have a question for both Michael Foster and Mitch, and that is, how did you, just going back to the shooting of the film itself, where was it actually shot, and how did you choose the venue, the set for the, like, how did you put it together? So start with Michael Foster, and then, yeah, go ahead.
Let's see, we did like what, 3 locations, Mitch? We did.
Yeah, it was a wind-up.
Yeah, we did the wind-up. Was the scene where Jasmine and Gregory were having their date and everything like that, and we just wanted to have.
Is that in Charlotte? Is that in Charlotte?
Yes, it is in Charlotte. It is in Charlotte.
And what's it called?
It was called the Wind-Up. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's what it's called now. It may have changed, but at that time, 2 years ago, it was the Wind-Up in the historic North Davidson area. We call it NODA. Yeah. I went by there and talked with the owner, and I told him what I had planned, and he was like, "Oh, sure, great," So we locked that in, and then a close friend of mine, as far as Evelyn's office, he let us use his office for that, and where else would and the hotel scene.
Yeah.
Which we didn't finish shooting that till like 2 o'clock in the morning. This was like one of the longest days ever. So we did 3 locations, and it all worked out. We shot the whole film in 1 day, really. So.
Wow, that's amazing. What was the hotel that you guys chose?
It was actually the Red Roof Inn on Sugar Creek Road, which anybody from Charlotte, knows. Red Roof Inn of Sugar Creek, but it actually ended up working for what we were doing. Originally, I was looking at using another hotel in the Ballantyne area, and they were, definitely like on board with everything that we were doing as far as the film and letting us come in and shoot and use their facilities and things of that nature. But just from a production standpoint, that was on a whole other side of town. So everything, all the other locations were kind of, in a central location. So I didn't want to have to, have the crew drive all the way across town and save. I wanted to save that time to actually shoot versus, picking up equipment and going all the way across town. So it all worked out. Like everything was kind of right in the same area. We hit all 3 spots. We started early in the morning, finished about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we got it done.
Wow. So that means that you then from there you went to post. So so you're the writer and the producer and the director. Are you also the editor, Michael Foster? I worked on editing. Like I said, that was my first film, so that was an experience just editing. But I knew when you write it and direct it, you kind of already know in your head how you want it to kind of flow as an editor. So that was a big help because I pretty much had the whole movie in my head at that point, and I knew exactly how I wanted it to go. So now I had the actual visuals in front of me to just kind of put them in a timeline. And, it was definitely a process. I mean, you had the first draft, but then, like I did Evelyn, I cut it so many different times.
You know, like I said, because it was my first film, I was still learning certain things as I was editing. So
Right.
I couldn't even tell you how many like different final versions of Evelyn Black that I actually did. I couldn't even tell you how many, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
That happens a lot. Well, listen, we're coming up on our 30 minutes. Believe it or not, we've been like rocking right on through this conversation. And I wanted to make sure that we had a great chance to talk about, for each of you to talk about your future projects that you're working on, all of which are so exciting. I thought we could start with Mitch.
Okay.
Michael Mitchell. Mitch.
Yeah. My future project is my thesis film. This is my second short film, or third, I'm sorry. Because yeah, I recently won the Manifesto Film Festival recently, and I was like, okay, if y'all like this film, let me work on something else. So my next film is going to be called Inhumane. I don't want to give too much details, but there will be an Indiegogo account that come up on my website. I think up here you can follow me on Twitter, and they'll be able to find me up there, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, but make sure you say what your Twitter handle is out loud.
Okay, my Twitter account is MikeMitch_MIT. That's MikeMitch_MIT. And everything that I post up there is gonna be about my short film. What am I doing? I already got a poster up. I'm working on my Indiegogo account. I'm about to shoot a trailer this weekend, and I plan on shooting some till September. So hopefully, the more money, the more support that I get, the faster this film will be done, and it's gonna be all over America. And if it's good in America, I'm going outside, just like Michael Foster did. So hopefully, I'll be in Montreal, looking at everybody. Like,
you guys have a great friend in the Montreal Black Film Festival. I do know that, so that is terrific. And Michael Foster, what about you and all of the projects that you have underway?
I currently have a film on the film festival circuit called Subconscious Whispers, and that's another, suspense thriller. And we're actually having a work with that in Martha's Vineyard on August the 6th at 1 o'clock p.m. And then the international premiere for that film is going to be back in Montreal at the Montreal International Black Film Festival. So I'm definitely excited about that. Also working on a feature film that we have in development. The script is crazy. It's called Position of Power. And I'm very, very excited about this project because I think it's going to stamp me as a writer and director. It's Godfather meets Pulp Fiction in Ocean's 11. It's crazy. It's crime, drama. It's crazy. And working on some things with J-No. We got some things that we're working on as well. So just stay tuned. My Twitter handle is lifelong, LYFELONG. I keep everybody updated always to my Twitter. Or my website is themichaelfosterexperience.com. That's pretty much easy to remember, the Michael Foster Experience. Facebook, Twitter. You can get to all my social media outlets through my official website, themichaelfosterexperience.com.
Okay. And while we have Jay, you can talk to us about your future projects, all this cool stuff you're involved in.
Okay, I'll make it quick. We have the Steve Harvey Neighborhood Awards in Atlanta, August the 9th.
All right.
We'll be in LA August the 10th for the Teen Choice Awards, which will be on Fox at 8 o'clock. And then you have September the 20th, the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta.
Well, I mean, it's sort of, I think we made it through the month of September. So
and I know he's doing this. I know he's doing the Soul Train Awards in Las Vegas in November.
Oh, wow.
He's doing October. I'm sure he's doing something, but I know he's doing that in November as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. My guess is he'll be back here in a minute. There he is. Jay, Michael just filled in for you on the Soul Train Awards in November.
Site, jnotruth.com. Follow my team, Street Dreamers, for more information, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right. Well, listen, you guys, thank you so much. This has been a great show.
Absolutely.
We at It'sAShort.com commit ourselves to supporting artists like you, and we look forward to future collaboration.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You.
Good job.
You.